Are you looking for a business idea that won't break the bank to start, but has some seriously high profit margins? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to break down a blueprint for the most promising small businesses you can start in 2026, even if you're working with a tight budget.
So, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the best business ideas out there. Then, we'll quickly touch on what a small business even is and why these particular models are so darn profitable. After that, we get practical. How do you choose the right fit for you? How do you stay on top of your profits? And we'll wrap it all up by tackling some frequently asked questions.
All right, let's dive right in, shall we? Our source material has pulled together more than a dozen business models that have that perfect mix of low startup costs and awesome profit potential. Now this chart, this is where things get really exciting. Just look at the direct comparison here. Freelance writing can hit a mind-blowing 90% profit margin. Why? Because your main cost is your time, not a bunch of materials. And even something super hands-on like dog walking can let you pocket 50 to 80% profit on a startup investment that's next to nothing. This really gives you a powerful snapshot of what's possible.
Okay, so numbers on a chart are one thing. But to really see how this all plays out, let's zoom in on a few of these, starting with a super popular e-commerce model.
Dropshipping is just a brilliant way to get into e-commerce because it totally removes the single biggest hurdle, inventory. You don't have to buy or store a single product yourself. Your job is all about marketing and customer service, while another company handles all the packing and shipping. It's a fantastic low-risk model with a really healthy profit margin.
Okay, so we've looked at a model for physical stuff. But what happens when you take the physical product out of the equation entirely? Well, that's where things can get even more profitable. And this right here perfectly illustrates the power of scalability. I mean, think about it. If you have a skill that other people want to learn, you can package it up into an online course. You do the hard work of creating it just once, and then you can sell it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if you have 10 students or 10,000, your workload barely changes. That's how you get to profit margins of 80% or even higher. But let's be super clear. You do not have to build some huge global online empire to find these high margins. Some of the absolute best opportunities are service-based, and you can start them right in your own neighborhood with very little cash. You know, the big takeaway here is that high-profit opportunities are pretty much everywhere. A dog walking business has almost zero startup costs, maybe a few business cards and some insurance. And because the demand is always there, you can build up a client base fast and keep a huge chunk of every dollar you earn. So we've been using this term small business a lot. Let's just take a quick second to define what we're actually talking about here. It really just boils down to size and revenue. For an e-commerce brand, you're usually talking about a team of somewhere between 5 and 50 people, doing less than $1 million a year. The big advantage? They're way simpler to start and manage. The downside, though, is that they often have tighter cash flow, which can make them a bit more vulnerable when the economy gets a little shaky. We've seen the what, so now let's dig into the why. What's the secret sauce that makes these businesses so profitable? Well, it really comes down to two key things. First off, they all have exceptionally high gross profit margins. And all that means is it's the percentage of money you have left over after you subtract the direct cost of what you sold. Second, they have super low startup costs. You don't need to go out and get a massive business loan to get things rolling. It's this powerful combo that cuts your financial risk and puts you on the fast track to actually making money. So, we've got a great list of ideas, and we know why they work. But honestly, the most important question is this: which one is right for you? Let's walk through a little framework to help you make that call. This is a fantastic 5-step process. Seriously, start with what you're already good at. Then, look at the real profit potential. Be brutally honest about the costs, and this next one is so critical. Make sure people actually want to buy what you're selling. Finally, think about whether it can grow easily. Following these steps turns a generic list of ideas into your personal business plan. Okay, picking a great idea is just the starting line. It's not the finish line. The businesses that really succeed are the ones that are on top of their finances from day one and never let up. A profitable idea is just the beginning. To stay profitable while you grow, you have to know your numbers, inside and out. It's just that simple. The most successful businesses make decisions based on data. They turn those insights into real, sustainable growth. All right, to wrap things up, let's just tackle a few of the most common questions that people have when they start looking into these high-margin business ideas. This is a big one that a lot of people wonder about. Is a 50% profit margin actually good for a small business? And the answer is a huge, definite yes. A 50% profit margin isn't just good, it's considered very, very strong. It's a huge signal that your business is financially healthy and well managed, and it puts you way above the average for most industries.
Now for a bit of a tougher question, but it's an essential one. If you understand the biggest reason for failure, you're already one step ahead in avoiding it.
You know, it's actually simpler than you might think. The number one reason businesses fail is because they build something nobody wants. They create a perfect solution for a problem that doesn't actually exist for enough people. This is exactly why step 4 in our checklist, checking for market demand, is probably the single most important step you can take.
Let's end on a super practical note. For somebody who's just looking for the absolute lowest barrier to entry, what's the best option? Well, according to our source, starting a very specific niche e-commerce store or offering your skills as a virtual assistant are two of the easiest ways to get going. You can start both from home with very little money, and you don't need years of special experience to land your first client.
So there you have it. We've gone through the ideas, we've talked about the financial principles that make them work, and we've laid out a framework for picking the right one for you. The blueprint is right here. The only question left is, what are you going to build? Thanks for watching.